Good morning, everyone. It's snowing here in Vail, Colorado. And this week's Torah portion is Mishpatim, the laws, the civil laws between man and fellow man. And the verse begins, the opening of the verse of the portion is Ve'ela Mishpatim. These are the laws, Asher Tasim Lifnehem, that you should place before them. And all the commentaries ask, why does it say these are the laws you should place before them? It should be these are the laws you should teach them. And our rabbis give many answers, but one beautiful answer is that the Torah is saying that the laws of the Torah must be placed before them, meaning it should be taught to the Jewish people in advance. In other words, don't wait until, God forbid, they violate the laws and then there's a question of what is the consequence, what is the penalty, but rather imprint and impress and ingrain in them in advance what all the laws are and the importance of obeying the laws. And thereby they will avoid violating these laws, and they will not have to deal with the negative consequences and the damages and the harm done through violating these laws. And therefore the verse says, Lifnehem, before them, meaning teach it to them in advance. And that is the idea of preventive medicine. The best medicine is preventive medicine. As Benjamin Franklin famously said, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And that is the message of Lifnehem, before them in advance. You know, the world is watching with great anxiety and fear as Russia has amassed over 10,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. And perhaps in the next few weeks there may be a massive invasion and a war between Russia and Ukraine. And all of the countries of the world are dealing with this in a diplomatic way, trying to prevent a war, God forbid, and a catastrophe. But what's fascinating is that Israel has had multiple meetings already, planning in case of a war to mass evacuate tens of thousands of Jews. Under the law of return, every Jew in the world is entitled to citizenship in Israel, the only true safe haven and homeland for every Jew in the world. And there are 75,000 Jews in Ukraine who are entitled to citizenship in Israel. And Israel is drawing up plans in case there's a war, how to evacuate those Jews and bring them to Israel. But what's fascinating is that it's not just Ukraine. Israel has plans on paper to mass evacuate Jews from many countries where they fear there may be potentially, God forbid, a crisis one day. And that's the message of Lifneim. Always be prepared in advance. Don't wait until it's too late. You know, in Vail, there's a lot of hospitals, unfortunately, and some of the best orthopedic surgeons are here in Vail because there's so many ski accidents. It reminds me of a story of the city of Chelam. Chelam was known as a group of people who weren't that wise. And there was a steep mountain that people were falling down and breaking their arms and their legs and their limbs. And so the town council of Chelam got together to decide what to do about it. And they resolved to build a hospital at the bottom of the mountain. And the message, of course, is don't build a hospital on the bottom of the mountain when it's too late. Build a fence on the top of the mountain. Always take preventive measures. We hope that everyone will be safe in Ukraine, that there will be no war, and God forbid, if there is, the Jews of Ukraine will be brought to safety in the land of Israel. Have a beautiful day.